was that? Nope. I am live. Hey guys, I haven't been live in a long time. Or has it been a long? Yeah, it's been a long time. And I am going to do a very quick makeup look for my birthday here. I'm going to recreate that one look that you saw in the thumbnail. It is just a everyday green look that you can wear. You know, a lot of, let me move you a little bit. A lot of eye colors that you see on social media are just for actual filming or to entertain. And a lot of these drastic colors that you see online are not for your wearing out. I mean, if you wear it out, to each his own, but typically most people don't wear like fluorescent colors on their eyes in public unless they're going to like a festival or something like that. So today is my birthday. Oh, by the way, I'm using Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Eden. Today is my birthday. I turned 48 today. And I figured, since I'm getting ready, I might as well turn on the camera and we'll get ready together. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do a green look. I know it looks dramatic or it looks hard, especially when you're having to deal with colors and stuff. But I'm going to show you how really easy some of these eyeshadow looks can come together, like just very simple. And they're really not as hard as you think. Now, this is one of those eyeshadow looks that have color in it. It has more of a bold color in it. But it's also one of those shadow looks that you can wear outside. And that's why I thought I would turn on the camera and show you guys that you can wear bold colors outside. So this is going to be a very, very vibrant green. And for that, just kind of throwing everything together today, I'm going to be using this palette by Culture 2 right here. You can see all the beautiful, beautiful greens. So this is one of the palettes. So we're going to start off with just a neutral. Actually, you know what? I might be able to start off just using this brown base right here. You see that? I'm going to start off by putting a brown on my eyes. This is typically like the base. You know, I put the eyeshadow primer potion, that's the base. And then this is going to be the base of the actual eyeshadow. So I got that brown color, right? And this is really easy. You can see that I don't want my eyes to be droopy, so I'm going to draw a line not like that. That brings them down. I'm going to draw a line that goes more straight out. And by doing this, it's going to lift the eye. And when I say that, whoa, this was a lot more pigmented than I thought. So I have just a fluffy brush here. This is just a Morphe eyeshadow brush. And you can see how just going back and forth and then making it more straight at the end, right there in the crease. That's it. Really, really easy, right? You're like, well, that looks pretty dramatic. Well, don't worry, don't worry. I'm going to show you what to do next. We're going to do the other eye. Mind you, I only dipped one dip. These shadows are actually very pigmented, and I don't know why I didn't think of tagging it in the video. I will see if I can tag it after the live stream is over. I'm just a little crunched on time. I just want to get on here and, you know, talk to you guys. Let you see something live instead of all the edits. This is how I make videos. It's very raw and real. Okay, so you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know about that. So take that same brush and just wipe it off on a towel or whatever you got to make it nice and clean. See, it's nice and clean now. Just go on those edges, on the edge, on the top, and you're going to see, look at this. You see the biggest difference, how it softened that line? That's all you got to do, right? If you've always wanted to wear more eyeshadow makeup, this is a great way for you to have more confidence instead of like, oh my gosh, you know, everyone's going to notice it's going to have a harsh line. No, just clean your brush and blend your edges and it looks really, really soft. Okay, at that, now what I'm going to do, let's see here. Let's take a dark green. I'm going to take, I'll show you what I'm going to take. You know, am I wanting the dark green or I want a dark brown? We're going to try the dark green. If we don't like the dark green, we're going to try the dark brown. We're going to take this dark green right here. And we're going to dip. And now I'm going to go right here. And a lot of people go in really, really quick. When you have a pigmented color, you might want to just tap like this. And I'm just going to tap it in the corner, building it on top of each other gradually. You see how you have that? Just like that. Nice and pretty. And then I'm going up in that corner. You can see, but I'm staying just right there. Okay? Do the same thing on the other eye. Tap. Just push it into the skin. Go up. I'm not going all the way underneath my eyebrow. I'm going about right here where you can see a peekaboo of the color. That's it. Just like this. So today I turned 48. And how do I feel aging? I actually really don't celebrate my birthdays anymore. I don't know. As I got older, I just don't find it to be a big deal. But I will say my best friend flew in from Detroit. And she was like, no, it's a big deal. And then my husband took me out to dinner early, and he made it a big deal. And my other best friend took me out to dinner yesterday. So I appreciate that very much. But how do I feel being 48? I feel that I love it. I feel that as time has gone by, that I am more wise. You know, I'm not as hyper as I used to be, or I really don't need to be the center of attention, or I just find myself in this more calm state. I'm going to take a clean brush and blend out those edges of the green. And we're kind of, when you're doing that, you're blending it right into that transition color. And then you're going to see how everything's nice. Now this is going to be sloppy out here. We're going to clean that up. Don't worry about that. But look at that. How it just kind of blends now. Anyways, I just find I'm more calm. I more know who I am, what I want in life, how I want it, and I don't have expectations on people like I did when I was younger. We're going to take the same color. We're going to put it in the corner right here. And I do notice by not having expectations of people, and when I say that, I'm like, you know, you get upset with somebody when you have expectations. They're supposed to do this. They're supposed to act like this. You know, and yes, you can get more upset when it's directed at your children. You see how I'm just putting that in the corner. Go ahead and put a little bit more. But as far as friendships and relationships and stuff, as time has gone on, I just learned to accept people for how they are, and then you don't get upset about anything. I have learned to love myself a little bit more, even though I am still struggling with losing weight. Who isn't struggling with losing weight? Especially if you're in full menopause, which I've been in full menopause for about 4 years. So you guys see how I just did that? And how I left the middle empty? That's what I want to do. Does menopause suck? Yeah. But you know what? It's just part of the journey. And I feel more blessed than ever before. I really do. I have both of my children. I have my husband. I have myself. My mental stability, you know. Do you struggles? Does everyone have struggles? I'm going to take this nice, beautiful green. Actually, I am going to put it on the brush to show you, but then I'm going to take my finger and just wipe it right in the middle, because when you take your finger, you have a more, it's going to be a lot, oh, maybe not. I was going to say it's going to be a lot more bold, but look how much picked up on that brush. Anyways, does everybody have their struggles? Yes. But I will say that that's part of the journey, you know? Like, you wouldn't be where you are without your struggles. You wouldn't be who you are, love the way you love, or be the way that you are just in general if you didn't have your struggles. Ooh, whoa, that's bright. Wow, look at that. And you see, I'm just trying to make it more of a straight line going up. That is gorgeous. I'm not going to take my finger because that's amazing how this eyeshadow palette picks up that much of this color on a brush. Anyways, talking about life and getting to be 48, yeah, you know, a lot of people struggle with, I want to be who I used to be, and yes, I want to be who I used to be physically, right? But I'm doing the best I can be just to stay healthy and just to stay in that positive mindset. And I think that's the best thing we can do. No, I'm not in my 20s anymore. No, I'm not able to run like I used to, but I can modify things to be the best version of myself. All I'm doing is getting a clean brush again, and I'm going to just kind of blend that edge. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. Just blend it upward a little bit and kind of see how it softened the edges versus it being so extremely bold like that. So I just took it and I just softened the edge. And that's the trick of makeup, is blending. Okay, so you see that harsh edge? I'm just going to take it and kind of go up a little bit to the side and just kind of blend it like that. And you can see the biggest difference. I love green, by the way. I love, love, love green. Now, I do want to deepen it a little bit more because I just do. So I'm going to take a dark brown, which I don't think this palette has a dark brown. So I'm going to grab just another palette and I'm going to do a dark brown. Let's see here. What do we got here? We're going to go with the sultry Anastasia Beverly Hills. Holy Grail, as you can see, pretty dirty. And I'm going to go with a really dark brown. This is just as pigmented, or probably more pigmented than this other palette. So anyways, I got the dark brown, and I'm going to deepen this outside right here. Same exact thing that we did with the green. Are you starting to get any aches or pains yet? Tremendously. As soon as I hit full menopause, all of my pains flourished like mad crazy. Mad crazy. I started going and getting therapy 2 to 3 times a week because I have something called thoracic outlet syndrome. And it's like right here where your collarbone is, all of those vessels and that muscle and those veins are constricted. And those are what, you know, all of this connects to your arm and your neck. And so you can imagine the pain. I think I took every drug you can think of. And I mean, like, as far as like the natural green drug, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it on video because dispensaries here in Vegas are legal. Alcohol, ibuprofen, Tylenol, muscle relaxants, and nothing was going to help. So then I got 2 surgeries on my hands, and I've been doing a lot of stretching. So when I tell you that people don't talk about that kind of stuff, they really don't. My pain went from something, always had chronic pain, so it went from like a 50 to a 150, it felt like, and I was sleeping maybe 2 hours a night, and I was in excruciating pain. So, but you know, I've always been that person that regardless if I'm in pain, regardless if I'm this, I'm that, I'm still never going to use it as an excuse. So I kept pushing forward. And I honestly find that since I've been on this 40-day journey at the gym, I'm doing that for Lent because my butt struggles with consistency. And when I say that, like getting to the gym every single day it was a struggle. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do 40 days at the gym. That's going to be my Lent. This is just a facial primer moisturizer. So what I do is I'm just going to wipe all this extra off real quick with that moisturizer. And I have noticed after I got my hand surgery, my pain kind of subsided a little bit, a lot, honestly. But the stretching has helped tremendously. And when I tell you I stretch, I've been stretching today's date 37 or 38 at the gym, right? I stretch for at least a minimum of 20 minutes a day. And it makes the biggest difference. It's almost, and this is actually fact. When you age, I'm just going to blend this, guys, a little bit better. When you age, your muscles tighten. You feel more of those aches and pains, and it is 100% true, especially when you're in full menopause like I am. Like, it comes on. You have, dryness in certain private areas. Your drive is maybe not what it used to be. You have hot flashes, you have aches, you have pains, things. And somebody explained it to me like this: in menopause, you have to think about it like you have all your life been used, even when you're in perimenopause and you're skipping periods, you're accustomed to going like this, and then you have a period, or actually going like this all throughout your month, and then you have your period and you slump down, and then you come back up. So your entire life, since you were probably like 12 years old, you've gone up and down in your mood, but you've always, for the most part, been 3 weeks up, with this energy and everything. And in menopause, it's just like you're on the down, and you're like, have the brain fog and the low energy, and you're like, what is wrong with me? It is true. So I started taking a supplement called DHEA. It's natural, over the counter, because when I got my 2 hand surgeries, that threw me into a major depression. And I didn't even realize I was depressed. I was talking to my sister, and she said, yeah, you have all the classic symptoms of depression. You don't want to leave the house. You just want to stay home. You don't want to put no makeup on. She was like, I know you better than anybody knows you, and this is definitely not you. And I was like, but it makes no sense. Like, I didn't go through anything besides surgery. And yeah, I was obviously in a depressed state. And I told my doctor, I do not want to be on antidepressants. They just know. So he told me, go take this over the counter. It's called DHEA. And what it does, it balances your hormones. And oh my gosh, let me just tell you, girls, if anybody is listening out there that has issues with mood, or just feel like, and when I say mood, I'm not saying that you're in a bad mood or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you're driving in your car and you can't find a song that you like. You can't jam out the way that you normally jam out when it's just you. That was me. I was like surfing the radio over and over, and I couldn't find anything. So, yeah, I started taking this DHEA that he recommended. He said, you won't even notice a difference. Like, you're just going to go along your day, everything's fine, and then one day, after about a month, you're going to be like, oh, I feel more like myself. And he was 100% right. So that is definitely something over the counter. I know that there's all these videos and stuff out that say, oh, do the hormone replacement therapy, do this, do that, right? And you're like, well, shoot, that costs an arm and a leg too. And do I really want to be committed to taking that much stuff? Hey, if you do, you do, right? But this DHEA helped me personally tremendously. So I am curling my lashes. This is a holy grail. It's like $5. Lash Princess by Essence. This performs better than any $25 mascara, honestly. It's $5 at Ulta. But I get in the waterproof formula, because if you have lashes that want to fall down, the waterproof, it will just lock it in place. So, if you see me sweating, it's because I moved my office to the garage, because there's obviously no more space for me. Anyways, we're going to take, I don't know how you do your wing. This is how I do my wing. And I find that it's easier. There's so many girls that walk around with wings that are uneven or just don't look right. So this is how I get my wings to be good. So I take 2 pieces of tape. I'm going to try the DHEA. Yes, it's at Walmart. It's cheap. It's like $10. You can start off with 25 milligrams, and after a month, if you don't find that and please note that I am not a doctor. I cannot give any medical advice. I'm telling you my story because I know how YouTube is about stuff like that. So I have to do that disclaimer. This is my story. I take 50 milligrams of this every day. It doesn't upset my stomach. It doesn't nothing, but it does help with my mood. And This is one thing that I will never stop taking, that I have taken for years, and I plead with people, please just try it. And I have no affiliation whatsoever with these companies. It's called it's a multivitamin. It's a methylated multivitamin by Andrew Lessman. His company is called ProCaps. They're actually manufactured here in Las Vegas. The only side effect of taking this multivitamin that has a lot of vitamin D is that your urine may be like fluorescent, but you will notice a natural boost of energy. And it's nothing like, oh yeah, it's just a little like tweak, like, oh, I feel like I got an extra hour of sleep or something. It's just that natural boost of energy. Those two things, like game changers, honestly. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just taking this tape and I'm going to put my wing on like this. Okay. But you do have to put it on the back of your hand so you take off most of the adhesive so that when you remove it off your eyes, it doesn't really pull your skin, because you definitely don't want to be pulling your skin. And I will take a jet black eyeshadow, right? Not all black eyeshadows are created equal. And I'll do this. I'll just go right out and then create that wing. And even though it's a black wing, believe it or not, because you're using the eyeshadow, it actually looks a little bit more subtle. You can also make a mistake, and because it's eyeshadow, you just blend those edges and you're fine. So you can see I just go straight out and draw like that. You see? When you remove it, well, bam. So it's a straight line, but it's not like so extremely harsh, like so pointed or so shiny. And so you're just going to draw straight out on there, and I kind of connect it at the bottom. Take it off and then put my false lashes. The eyeshadow look is actually pretty much done. I'm going to take just like a cream color and go under my eyebrow just to kind of clean it up a little bit more. But once I put my lashes on, oh, look at that. Pretty, right? And I don't think that was complicated. There's a lot of people who are like, take 2 billion colors and do this and do that. And yes, I get it. You know, like they want to sell products. They really want to, they have brand deals. I'm going to take a nice, just a cream color. And I'm going to go over here. And I'm just going to clean up underneath my eyebrow. And they have to show all of these colors and stuff. Like, I don't have anything like that. And I just want to show you guys like how easy it actually can be. See, when you kind of look, it's like a peekaboo. You look down and it's like pop. And it's beautiful. And I love the fact that green eyeshadows, depending on how you place them, something like this can go with anybody's skin tone, with anybody's eye color, anybody's hair color. You can see I'm a redhead. So super duper easy. I always do, and I always recommend this to people. When you're doing, when you're doing your eyeshadows, I always recommend doing it first. You'll see a lot of influencers do, oh, we're going to do the Win Beauty right here. You see a lot of influencers do their eyes last, and I'm like, why? That stuff's going to fall on your face and you're going to have to get it off. And they're like, that's why you put a bunch of powder on your face to just wipe it away. But that's not true necessarily. A lot of times that powder falls, or the eyeshadows fall on the powder, and it still gets on your skin. So why not just do your eye makeup first? Like, and then you can wipe anything away. I actually like this foundation. I recently bought it. It does have SPF, I believe, SPF 30, hydrating, but you'll see, look at this. It's very skin-like. And now that the weather is warming up, you do want your SPFs. So, you know, and for you guys that are like, oh, SPFs are not good, they cause cancer, this and that, because they absorb into your skin and they throw off your hormones. Well, I'm not going to argue with that. What I am going to argue with is yes, because that's probably because you're putting your sunscreen on wrong. And you're like, what do you mean? It's sunscreen. Like, how do you put sunscreen on wrong? Well, if you don't put a barrier on your skin before you put the sunscreen on, why does it look like I got something in my eye? Like a moisturizer, like we did. We put a moisturizer / primer on the eye, on the skin. If you don't do that, then yeah, your skin's gonna, especially if your skin is dry, it's gonna soak that up. And is there a possibility your hormones are thrown off, that you absorb the sunscreen, all the zinc oxides or whatever they're called? Yeah. But when you put that barrier on your skin, no. Now, can it a little bit maybe? Maybe if you sweat it all. I don't know. All I know is if you put a barrier on your skin, that's going to have the sunscreen sitting on top of your skin versus soaking it all up. And that's how you wear sunscreens. So you can see this makeup looks really, really natural. I'm absolutely loving this. It reminds me a little bit of my Holy Grail makeups. One by Lancome, I believe. But with the SPF, I love that it's a one-step, put it on, and it looks natural. Oh, shoot, I gotta charge my phone. Where's my phone? I'm recording from my phone. There we go. Anyways, so you can see, pretty darn simple, right? Nothing too complex. I think showing you guys how to put some green eyeshadow on your eyes was pretty easy. You guys let me know if you think, it looks a little bit too difficult. Yes, I have been doing makeup for a while. A lot of times it's hard to get in that corner, so you want to use your finger and blend like that. Your finger, believe it or not, is probably the best thing you can use. A lot of people don't like to use their finger. I go back and forth. Okay, now, you do have to seal this. A lot of people say, oh, no, I have dry skin, I have this, I have that. Well, you also don't want this like sliding off your skin. And this, you see my nose is red again because I didn't wet this because I'm not by a sink now. I didn't wet it. So it kind of reabsorbed all that makeup. So I'm going to use my finger here and get everything nice and even. And with using your hand, you can actually feel where you're distributing it, if there's too much. And it lays down so nice. So let's go ahead and powder ourselves up. Just a regular black powder puff. I'm going to use the Anastasia loose translucent powder, and we're going to go in. And so I'm getting closer to my 50s, right? And I don't want all this powder under my eyes because I don't want to look cakey. What was the name of the multivitamin again? Andrew Lessman. His company is called Pro Caps. Pro Caps, CAPS. It's the multivitamin. It's just amazing. Okay, so I don't want to look cakey. I don't want to look like I'm like older than what I am. So I am going to take a good amount, right? You see how much I have here. And I'm going to pat here. I'm going to go around my lips. And then you see how there's hardly anything. And then I'm going up in the corner from there and going under the eye. Because by the time I go under the eye, what? We have hardly any powder on it. And then under the eye. And then I will go on top of the nose because my nose is oily as oil. So you can see most of the powder is down here. This is such a beautiful foundation. Like, you guys, doesn't it just look like it's my skin? Don't ever forget to set that neck because you don't want it transferring onto your clothes. So remember, go on the outer perimeter and then go down. Or go on the outer perimeter and then go up, you see? Like that. Because we want the least amount of powder in the center. Just like that. This thing will last you years. the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Will last you a long time. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete the eyes. I'm going to take a pointer brush. And my bottom, I'm just going to go here and kind of blend that a little bit out because I don't want just a dot of black like you see right here. Just like that. Pop on some lashes, and then we're going to move on to the eyebrows. Let's see here. It is daytime, so I want lashes, but I don't want like extreme, or should I do extreme? Very pretty. Thank you so much, Jewel. Who is that? Let's go back because it erases. Jules. You know what? I think I'm going to go with the more natural, and I'm going to put some mascara on top of there. Because yes, those big ones are beautiful, but it is very bright and it is warming up, and I don't want to look like I have nighttime makeup on in the daytime. This is Ardell 420. These are holy grails. I've been getting these for years. So I just kind of put it on my finger like this, and I get one of these lash holders and pop it in there like that. I think this one is a little too long, but I do not have scissors, so we're just gonna wing it. Hopefully it doesn't poke my eye. So I do like getting natural lashes like this that I could wear every single day, but then sometimes you're like, well, I don't want to wear a nighttime lash because it's too big, and I definitely don't want to wear something that's too natural if I'm going out. So what I do is I do an in-between by putting mascara on top of the lash. So you can see I just kind of put the glue all there, and we're going to pop this on, and let me show you what I mean. Oh yeah, this is gonna be long. Son of a gun. Gonna try to get this to work. I got it down. But it is long because it shouldn't be this far out on the eye. It should be a little bit shorter. It's fine. I don't have no scissors. We're just going to do it. Okay. Let that dry. Let's go ahead and do the next one. So I just grab it. Put it in the little holder. These holders are like, I don't know, 99 cents. And I find it to make putting on the lash so much easier. Get some glue. And if you have a hard time putting glue on, there's a glue pen. It's called by Lash Princess. I think that's literally what it's called, glue pen. You will just draw it on your eyes. Oh my gosh, I'm also out of glue. You will draw it on like it's eyeliner, and your lash will just stick to that. It is heaven if you have a hard time putting, like using liquid. Well, I'm going to throw that one away. The Duo glue, that one's so easy. So, and then we're just going to pop this on like that. See how easy? And then I take my tweezers and I kind of just reposition. I don't know why we make funny faces like when we do this, but we do. Okay. I think it was down. No, it's not down. Okay. It's down. Okay, so you can see, like, it's beautiful, right? You can see the lashes, but I do want a little bit more pizzazz, so I'm going to get this mascara. what I'm going to do is check it out. Do you have nail clippers? No, I don't. I don't. Trust me, I would have done that. And then I'm going to go right on top of my lashes and these lashes, and you're going to see like the biggest difference. So they're not going to look extreme like those nighttime ones you saw, but they are definitely going to look better. So you see? And then I'm going to take my tweezers and go at the base and squish my lashes to these actual lashes so that they stick together and I don't have any separation. And it just kind of adheres them together. And so you can see the difference. So it's not huge difference like, I mean, it's a difference, but they're not like bold like these are. But they are bold. They're beautiful. They're bigger. We're going to do that same thing on this eye. Now, obviously, guys, lashes are completely optional. Some of you girls, some of you besties have beautiful, natural, long lashes. Oh, and this one looked like it came up off my eye. And don't even need to wear false eyelashes. I do not have these beautiful lashes. So now I have beautiful lashes. And then don't ever forget to do your bottoms, because a lot of people think, oh no, I just want the top, but you kind of want your bottoms to match your top. See? Like that. Okay, now I look so ghostly white right now because I don't have any contour on my face. And I want to show you how, no, actually, you know what? We'll do the contour in a second because my eyebrows are bugging the heck out of me. I look like I have bald spots and all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my brows. This is a holy grail. I actually don't even know if there's any more in it, and there's hair, my hair stuck in it too. This is by e.l.f. This is the Instant Lift Brow Pencil. No, that's not the one I want. And then I'm going to take a micro fine one and draw in little hairs if I can find it. Yeah, right here. Found it. This one is by BDB, Billion Dollar Brows, right? So this is like, you can get this in Wet n Wild too, like the fine point. So check this out. And look, it won't even go up anymore. That's how much I use this. So I want you to just go and fill in your eyebrows. Now, I don't fill them in completely. I just fill in spots. Like here needs to be filled in. Here needs to be filled in. I just like a spot fill, I guess you could say. And then bring it down. Now, that's how I do mine, right? And then I go back. I comb this through, just to fill it in. And then what I do is I take a very fine point one, like that, and I will go in and I will draw that line one more time just to like make sure that it's nice and straight. See? And I will draw in a few hairs. And you can see the difference there. That looks good. And then I will comb through lightly, because I don't want to wipe away those hairs, but I do want to wipe away a little bit of the line on the bottom. And well, bam, you're done. Like super easy. But this is, I think, in the neutral color for the e.l.f. And this is only $5, guys. $5. So I want to fill in the areas where it needs to be filled in. Where, you know what? And that looks so funny because I got bit last night right there in my eyebrow. So it might look a little bit off right here too. And then go through and comb that through. It's like a big bump right there. I'll take this one and do the same exact thing. Just draw some little hairs and do the under eye line. and then comb it through. Here's a little tip as well. A lot of times if your eyebrows are too boxed off, you can look mean. Ooh. I'm gonna have to take off this eyebrow, this lash, because it's stabbing my eye. So when I say that, like these corners right here, just kind of like take off that corner, and you can see like it will soften your look a little bit. I just call them like Cookie Monster or grouch eyebrows. You don't want grouchy eyebrows. See? The eyebrows make the biggest difference. I personally think the eyebrows do the biggest difference. Now we're going to give ourselves a little bit of color. So let me go ahead and get my brush here. Right? So you're going to take your contour, whether it's cream or powder. I'm going to use powder. Take whatever is best complementing yours. This one is a little bit of a gray undertone, a tad bit. And you can see how I'm like all one color, right? Well, we're going to go and we're going to, you can see it's going to warm me up. I know you see the biggest difference there. Look at that. After, before. Now the trick is you don't ever push down. You go to the hollow and you go up. Hollow, and then you go up, almost placing it. It's almost going to feel like you're placing it where you're, oh, see the line from there to there, my fat. And that's where we're going to put this. And then underneath the chin right there, and then underneath right there at the corner, and it's going to give the illusion that I have a jawline. Just like that. And then I can take it down on the side of the neck where it goes hollow as well. Okay, so this can give the illusion that you're much more slim. And then I'm put it over here around the hairline a little bit. And then I look more warm. I'm also going to do my nose. So I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to pat off a lot of it. Make sure that you're not sweating in your nose when you do this. So go ahead and just pat it one more time. Make sure that this is dry. Hi, Ronnie. And then we're going to go from the eyebrow and we're going to stipple. We're going to go like this. I have a big nose. You can see I have a big ball. And this is how I do mine. So you're doing one straight line on the edge of your bridge, the very, very edge of your bridge, and making that a straight line that goes down. And then I go and I pat the bottom of it. After you're done with that, you can wipe off the brush and go on top and kind of like blend it. If you feel that it's not blended enough, you take your powder puff and whatever, there's hardly anything on your powder puff, and you go up on the sides. And it's just going to soften it. You see? Really super easy, don't you think? Now, I'm going out to dinner with my bestie for my birthday. And so we're going to do a long wear lipstick. This is punchy. This is cheeky. I think I want something with a little bit more peach because of that kind of orangey brown it looks like. I think we're going to do this one. This one is Charmed. Now, I like to line my lips with some brown. I do a brown lipstick, typically. Pull this drawer out so I can find it. And can I find it? No, I cannot. So we're going to go with this brown lip liner. It's just like a light brown. And I do my two peaks right here. I do it a little overdrawn in the middle to make it closer. Like that. I just push them more together because my top lip is smaller than my bottom. And then I line inside, more inside on the bottom to make them more even. We're going to shake this up. I already shook it up. What am I talking about? And then put this on. I think this was the perfect color match for the eyeshadow. Beautiful color, don't you think? I think it's a beautiful color. And I'm going to take, let's see, I'll get a mirror, tiny mirror. I hold them together so it stays nice and moist because it will dry down. And then I bring in that liner just a little bit. Blend it together. Oh, yes, I do need highlighter and I do need blush. Because that's all you're seeing right there is just the contour. So let's go ahead and get some blush. See what we got for blush. That's pink. I want pink. You know what? I think we might as well go with a highlighter that's a little bit more... Yes, it matches. I think so. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm going to go with this Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. I think you will love this. Let me show you this. I know it looks super white, right? But look, it feels like baby powder. Can you see that? It's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me get a blush. Noche, move over so I can get my makeup, young lady. Okay, I'm going to go with this one that has a tad bit of orange in it. This is from Mexico, this brand right here, Olay. And we're going to go ahead and put it right on top of the contour. See? Just adds that color, but then you still have the definition. Remember, you want to lift everything up. So we're going up here, up. We're not going down. We're going up on the top by the eye. And I'm going to take the side of my brush here, and I'm going to dip like this because this, like I told you, is super powdery. I'm going to just dab it on and then dab it on here. And it looks like I have a lot of blush, but this will kind of tame it down a little bit. So I do that, and then I go and I blend it like this. I will grab some on my finger, dab it off, and just go down the middle. Finger, and then dab over here. So it has a little bit of highlight too. You can also do like that if you wanted. And there you go. What do you guys think? Do you have a kitty? Nope, I have 3 dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and do my hair and get ready. But this is the makeup look. You know, I think it's very, very pretty. I think that pop of green makes the biggest difference. So I hope you guys enjoy your day. I just wanted to share my story. Today's my birthday, like I said, on getting older. And everybody kind of thinks of aging as gloomy. Yeah, we have our ups and downs. We have our pains and aches or whatever we have. You know, I have a whole lot of stuff with me. I have heart problems. I have nerve problems. I have all this stuff. But do I let that define me? No. And you shouldn't let it define you either, because you know what? God created you, yep, you, to be an original masterpiece. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like me. Own yourself, and love yourself even more as you get older. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in and watching my birthday makeup. Thank you, Ronnie, for the happy birthday wishes, and everybody else. I appreciate every one of you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. I'm Christina Marie. I'm out. Thank you, Julie's. Let's see. I forgot how to end this. Bye.